welcome to Dabbling in Journals. Today I'm going to share some of the journaling I've been doing. Now that One Book July's finished, I'm back in all my other journals, really loving them. So I thought today I'd just show you a few pages from my memory keeping journal and a few from my Commonplace book. So in this journal, which is a B6 size, this is an apple pig leather cover with my B6 Stalogy. I'm loving this journal so much. It's just getting so wonderfully bulky and it's so full of memories now. So I finished in June and then I didn't use this book at all in July because I was doing One Book July. So I wanted to start again in August, and I've done a little title page or cover page, or just to separate the month, put my little tab on, and I've doodled some sunflowers and stamped the month using Tim Holtz stamps and used a bit of washi. The first part of my journaling in here for this month was focusing on happy mail, and by happy mail I'm meaning the things that I bought with my little journaling arty budget that I allow myself each month. And the first thing I bought was this paintbrush. I've just doodled the paintbrush, used some little art stickers and used some of this with the card that came with it and the packaging, and it was from Rosemary & Co. It's this brush. I absolutely love it. It's got such a beautiful point, and it's also quite big. It's a size 8, so it holds lots of water, but it still has this lovely point. So I'm really pleased with that purchase. I love that brush. It's definitely my favourite. And I also treated myself to some stickers. I showed these, I think, in a previous video. These were from littlethoughtstore.com, and then I've bought some from It's Paper Co, mainly because I saw a sheet of sunflower stickers and I couldn't resist them because they match my theme so well. And I also bought some meal plan script stickers from her. So I just did this page pink because it's the two little cards I wanted to save were very pink. I saved the stickers from the packaging. I tried to doodle a little kawaii bear based on this one on the sticker, but I don't think it's my forte. I found that really quite difficult. I think it's easier if you use markers for this kind of cartoony drawing rather than pencils, which is what I've used there. But still, it's a little bit fun. Here I was journaling about my new tarot deck that my partner very kindly gifted to me. He ordered it quite a considerably long time ago, so I've been waiting for it for ages, and I was very excited when it came. I did do a flip through of it on my channel, which I afterwards regretted because some of the images are a bit scary. There's lots of snakes, lots of insects, there's lots of skulls and monsters, and probably doesn't give a good impression of what the tarot is about because of those images. But too late now, I put it up, and I don't think I'll be using this very much in my bullet journal where I do my focus of the week because of the fact that some people might not like the images, though the artwork is amazing. I think she's an amazing artist and I love the work she's done. I did use a card this week and I was so relieved because I do a random pick and I got one that wasn't scary. So I feel all right to show that on my channel. But yeah, I might leave this for personal use, but I do absolutely love it. I've just put some little bee stickers here because there's lots of bees. She's got a suit in the deck which is called Honey. And I drew a little red moon because it's called the Blood Moon Tarot. Now this is a very sad page because my sister has had a really nasty fall playing netball and she's fractured her elbow. And as well as fracturing her elbow, she's bruised her arm, her wrist, her hip. She's in a lot of pain. She's really suffering. And she's in my thoughts all the time at the moment. And I've done this little watercolour as I was thinking about her. And sadly, because it's her elbow, they can't put a plaster cast on it, apparently. And of course, that's what tends to help with the pain if you break a bone, is the plaster cast. And she hasn't got that, so she is suffering, and I'm very sad for her. So I've done some little heart stickers here with flowers, and I'm just thinking about her all the time and hoping that she gets better really, really soon. And I think that's all I've done in my journal for this month so far. I have got a few more things I want to journal about, so I might be doing some more journaling over the weekend. So that is my memory keeping journal, which is chock full of memories. I think I started it in October, so we're now in August, so it's got a lot of memories in it and I love it. Now this is my little Commonplace book. I set this up just before 1 Book July and then never used it because I was only using one book and it wasn't this one. Really love it. It's a Chic Sparrow notebook from the Carrol collection in the colour March Hare. Got a little matching Queco pen in the macchiato colour. And inside I have an MD notebook, so a Midori notebook. I did do a video where I showed my decoration or setup, if you like, of the first few pages. I really loved how that page came out. I don't know why, but I did really like it. And I did an index, and my first topic I've decided to think about in my Commonplace book is happiness. So I've left a couple of more pages for the index, and then my first quotation is from Aristotle, an ancient Greek philosopher who's one of my favourites. And the quotation I chose was, "Happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence." So there, do you agree? Is happiness the meaning and purpose of life, what we should be aiming for? Now, what's interesting here is this translation, because obviously it was written in Greek, and I doubt very much that Aristotle is referring to happiness in the sense that we commonly use the term now. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But on this page, I just did some stenciling of some music notes. I found a little scrap of music paper which has got the word happy on it, which I thought was really cool. So I've just done some collaging in the corners, and I think it looks really nice and rustic, and I like it anyway. And then here I was talking about the fact that Aristotle's view centres on the notion of eudaimonia, which is probably not best translated as happiness and is more appropriately translated as flourishing. And he's got a very clear idea of what he means by flourishing, or what he means by eudaimonia. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, by the way. I've just distressed my pages, and I've added some really pretty rub-on stickers. And one thing I made a note of when I was looking at this notion of eudaimonia, because I haven't read Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics for, I don't know, maybe 30 years ago I read them. I was lying on a sunbed in Spain and I read the whole book because I found it absolutely fascinating. And I think I've pretty much brought up my children using his kind of framework regarding how to achieve a flourishing life. So I thought it was a nice place to start. But what I didn't know is that Philip Pullman, in his The Northern Lights series, I've watched a televised version of that recently. And this notion he has in his novels of a demon, which is the character's soul. The demon is their soul, and they are represented as different animals. This comes from the Greek word eudaimonia, or eudaimonia, or eudaimonia. I don't know how you say it. Anyway, that was just something interesting I found, so I popped it in my Commonplace book. And here I was thinking about, what does Aristotle mean by eudaimonia? And he very much thinks that in order to flourish, so eudaimonia is flourishing, in order to flourish, you need to be morally good, you need to control your emotions, exercise your reason, practice virtues. By virtues, he means the mean between extremes. So courage, for example, is the middle in between being foolhardy and cowardly. The way you work out whether or not something is virtuous, well, one, you can follow a wise and virtuous role model. That's what I hope I've been with my children. But you also can think about whether or not courage is appropriate in the circumstances at the time, in the right amount, and so on. It's quite complicated. So for Aristotle, flourishing is the meaning and purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence, not happiness in the sense that we tend to use the word, referring to emotions which are temporary, measured by pleasure. And of course, happiness can be achieved by immoral means. I mean, you can do something bad and it might make you really happy. Whereas flourishing, according to Aristotle, is something which is measured by excellence, can only be achieved by living a morally good life. It's connected with effort and so on. The only sort of issue I have with that, I think, is the fact, and Aristotle acknowledges it, is the fact that there is quite a lot of moral luck in the world. If you're not born with parents that teach you how to flourish, how to be virtuous, if they're not good role models for you, it's going to be much harder for you than somebody who is luckier and has more admirable parents. Similarly, if you're born in poverty, it's going to be more difficult for you to flourish and be virtuous compared to somebody who's born into a comfortable, much easier existence. So I think there's loads and loads and loads to think about here. But I do want to go back to the notion of happiness. So I'm going to look for some more quotations on happiness. What is happiness? How important is happiness? How much does happiness matter compared to flourishing, and so on. So I hope you've enjoyed having a little peek into my Commonplace book and also my memory keeping journal. And if you have, thank you so much for joining me. Bye.